As you guys come in here, if you can hear me and see me clearly, comment a 1. If you can hear me and see me clearly, comment a 1. If you can hear me and see me clearly, comment 1. Want to make sure we get everything is cool before we get started. If you can hear me and see me clearly, comment a 1. I'm gonna wait till I see the ones. If you can hear me and see me. All right, there we go. All right, guys, welcome back to Alpha Talk Podcast. Today, guys, I got a few more guests on. We're jumping right into it. I'm excited. I'm gonna let the ladies introduce themselves and we get started. Let's start off with Aspen.
Hi, I'm Aspen. I'm a full-time student right now, and I do social media for fun.
Okay, Cassidy.
Hi, I'm Cassidy. I'm from New Zealand, and I do TikTok, and I talk about mental health.
Okay.
I'm Vita. I'm 22, and I'm a Christian, and I like to think that I'm a critical thinker.
Awesome. That's dope. All right, guys, today we got several topics for y'all. We're going to jump right into it. Let's get started. I'm excited. You ladies excited? I'm excited.
Yeah.
Y'all excited? Let's get it. All right, guys. The first topic we're discussing on Alpha Talk today is, has feminism been a net positive or net negative for women? I'm going to say that slowly. Has feminism been a net positive or net negative for women? Whoever wants to start, let's get it. Let me know your thoughts.
I feel like it's been a natural byproduct of what the world is now. Like, society's moved forward, so there has to be some progression for women. However, I think feminism as a whole has some good traits and has some bad traits. But I don't feel like I couldn't say it was a positive or a negative.
I definitely feel like it's been a positive thing, especially for like our younger youth. Like, just growing up in like an environment where like women are supposed to thrive, I feel like that's very positive.
So you feel like Aspen, you feel like it's been a positive for the youth?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think it's 100% a net negative, because it's stripped women of femininity for the most part, and it makes women think, that we're entitled to something, and that we should be these strong, powerful people, when in reality that should be men. And I think women are depressed. They think that promiscuity and femininity is making them more empowered, but truly at the end of the day, after all that they're going through, they're left in the same broken place that they began.
Interesting. Okay, Aspen, I want you to elaborate a little bit on why you think it's been a net positive. Then I'm gonna come to you, Cassidy, on why you think you can't make a decision.
Again, like, I feel like growing up, like, teaching women that like they don't necessarily need a man to make themselves feel good. I feel like a lot of the time, like in our younger generations, we rely on men to bring women up, and we rely on the compliments and all that to like boost our self-esteem. And I feel like now it's very much like, you don't need a man to tell you that you're pretty. Like, you should believe that you're pretty all on your own type stuff. So I feel like that's how it's positive. Like, it's helping form our youth into stronger, more independent women.
So would you say that women are more independent now? I would disagree.
I would say in some ways yes, and then in some ways no.
What do you mean? Some ways yes. How? So the modern woman, right, gets a lot of attention from men, but she's sleeping with more men, getting in less relationships, more divorces. So I'm trying to figure out the positive. If family it should be the number one thing women is striving for. Women are more concerned with who's the next dick they're gonna fuck, but not necessarily like a family. So I don't know if that's a positive.
I feel like it depends on which woman you're talking to. Like, I'm looking at the positives more as in society, like women going like up against men in high corporate jobs.
But that has never been a problem. Women are not oppressed in the workforce today.
Yeah, but
I would
go ahead.
The job thing that you're talking about, what ends up happening is women put their career first, and then they end up being in their 40s or 50s, and then they're childless. God forbid they're maybe single, not married, or divorced. And at that point, that's when it really catches up and gets really lonely. Because in our 20s, it's like, oh, it's fun to put our career first, because we don't really see like into the future. We have no idea what it feels like to be 40 and childless. But when that time comes, that's when everything catches up, and you look back and you can't you can't bring back that window of time where you can conceive.
Okay, let me ask you guys a follow-up question. Do you guys know the real purpose behind why feminism started? Do you know what the original, like why it was really pushed from the beginning? Was it for female empowerment or was it for something else? Do you know, Aspen?
No, I do not.
Okay, so the reason why feminism was pushed so much is to get women out of the home so they could be taxed more, right? Separate you from your family, basically sell you this dream of female empowerment, but more to get you in the workforce, right? Separate the family unit, separate your kids from you. Your children are no longer raised by you, now they're raised by a school. That was the original push for feminism. If you think about it, you think these corporate giants really give a fuck about female empowerment? You think they really they if they were to do what's best for them is, oh, let's just make women more powerful? Nah, they're doing it for a reason, right? A family unit is when a woman is the most powerful, in my opinion. A woman in her home, being able to raise her children. You're actually taxed less, by the way. You have more influence in the kids that you're raising. You have the most power when you're raising a family. But women have been now convinced that being promiscuous, sleeping with a bunch of dudes, boss babe, when you're not really a boss, you're just working for a company and they'll fire you whenever they want. That's the new empowerment. And I think it has been a net negative for women. Women are not benefiting from feminism because you're still having to work. Now you have less help with raising the family. And when you do decide to have kids, you're past your prime. You're past the years where you have the most energy, you're the most youthful, where men value the most. So now you're being convinced that, oh, if you just wait a little longer, that men should take you the way you are. No, and when in fact men value youth and beauty when it comes to women. So you're depriving yourself of your most youthful years as a mother, and you're giving those years to a corporate organization in
But I feel
exchange
like
for
women are making that decision. Women are making the decision to focus on working because the dating pool of the men that they're dating aren't the type of guys that can give them that kind of life. Like, I know lots of women that focus on their career because they gave up on dating. And I think that is both men and women's problem and responsibility to fix. Like, the whole dating culture is messed up. It's so easy to be like, you're focusing on your career and you're not wanting to raise a family, but you wouldn't want to raise a family unless you found somebody that was going to be a good father of your children.
Or would you say, is it not so much finding a good father, but being bombarded with too many options that you have this false sense of options? See, I think the more options you have, or the more options you think you have, the worse you are. I think more women believe that they have more options when they really, really don't. So they think, oh no, I should just hold out for the best guy. This dating pool sucks. Well, what are you doing to bring value to a man's life to show him that you're a woman that he should marry?
So what's your point? I'm missing what the question was there. What was your point with that?
So you said women are choosing to choose the careers because the dating pool sucks. And I'm saying the dating pool sucks because women think they have more options than they actually do. They think
so you
that
don't think the dating pool is bad because both men and women have been behaving badly for centuries and this is the byproduct of this? You think it's just women's fault that the dating pool sucks now and men don't hold any responsibility for how it is?
No, men hold responsibility. I'm somebody that teach men to have accountability, be the best version of themselves. But Cassidy, 2 out of 3 men are not having sex. 18 to 30.
That's
18
not
to 30 years
talking
old.
about though, is it? I'm talking about why is the dating pool
So
the way
yeah,
it
let's
is? I
discuss
feel
that.
like it's
Let's look at that. If men 18 to 30 are not having sex, who are the women fucking? The women are having
I don't,
sex with somebody. Women 18
probably
to 30
just
are having sex.
yeah. Well, women are just probably having sex with people who they want to have sex with.
Oh, but why aren't they picking those men to marry them? So here's the double-edged sword. Oh, you have a bunch of guys that you fuck, but where are the guys that you're gonna date? If you complain about the dating market, why aren't you
Where's the
then
question
marrying
though? Like
dudes?
that's super broad though. Like you're talking about a super broad group
No,
of
no,
women. Like
I'm
ask a specific question.
no, I'm making a statement to help you understand that the point that you're making is not as valid as you think it is. You're saying that women, right, are deciding to wait on their careers. I mean, they decide to pursue their careers over dating. But I'm telling you that men 18 to 30, 2 out of 3 of them are not having sex. So, but women are still having sex.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
What makes you believe that all women 18 to 30 are having sex?
Because these are the facts. 70% of women are having sex, while most men are not.
Okay,
Like
but you
these
realize
are
that every
numbers.
time a woman has sex, it's most likely with a man. Therefore, every time a woman
That's
has
my
sex,
point.
a man would also be having sex.
You're proving my point. You guys are sleeping with the same guys, but you're not getting marriage from those guys, but you're complaining about the dating market. You're overlooking the majority of men. You're fucking a specific group of men, and then you're complaining that dating sucks. And you're getting married later.
Okay,
I
so that you're putting that responsibility on. So you're saying you want in your ideal world women to not be having sex, and you think women not having sex will make the men have more sex and will marry them
no.
because we're having less sex. What is your ideal outcome for this? Like what would you if you could pick the stats, what would you want?
It's not about sex. I want men and women to create a family unit. I think if a man works on himself, let him find a woman that he wants to raise a family with.
And how are
Women,
you achieving that? By telling women that they're just having heaps of this is so
I tell,
unconstructive.
oh
You're just telling us that
listen,
women.
hear me out. I tell men, right? I tell men, work on yourself, become the best version of yourself, be a catch to women. Women are being told, no, make men accept you for the way you are, fuck a bunch of dudes, and then a man should accept you when you're ready. That's not how life works.
I think a real woman would work on herself. Like from previous relationships, like they look at their downfalls and they grow from that. So I
Yeah,
feel
but
like necessarily like men grow and so do women at the same time.
no, that women should think that way, Aspen, but most women are not. I'm going back to Cassidy. The thing she said was most women are deciding to pursue their careers first, right? Because the dating pool sucks. Well, that doesn't make sense if more women are having sex and men are not having sex. So that means y'all are having sex with the same group of men, but then
No,
complain that the dating pool sucks.
what is that? What do you mean that doesn't make sense?
I'm gonna let her say one more thing before I let you go, Vita. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cassidy.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go. You go.
Go ahead.
I was
Vita,
gonna
go
say,
ahead, Vita.
just because more women are having sex than men does not mean that the dating pool doesn't suck. I actually agree with Cassidy on that point. It does make sense to choose a career over marriage because of the dating pool, because of how terrible it is. But I wouldn't really even pin it on women or men. I really would pin it on the government, like you started saying, that the reason for feminism is not truly to empower women, but is to tax women, to make it so that women are not raising their children, but the schools are, and the schools are raising workers, instead of people who actually have, a head on their shoulders and critically think. There's a lot of different situations. So the fact that birth control was invented, that's like a little voice in a woman's ear, and it's like, oh, you can have sex as much as you want, you don't have to get pregnant. And that's really enticing to a broken woman, a woman who wants attention from men. And then the use of pornography for men, if pornography did not exist, I think a lot more men would work on themselves and they would become that catch that you're talking about, and they would be having sex. But because of pornography, it's such a easy, it's not an exact replica, but it's such an easy replica of sex. So it's just so much easier to sit in your bedroom and to not really do much with your life and just watch porn, rather than, you know, if porn was taken away, that's when you would actually get up, make a life for yourself, have a good head on your shoulders, and get women. So I don't really think it's necessarily women's fault. Women are easily indoctrinated, just like children are. You tell a child one thing 5 different times and they'll start to believe you. And that's the same that women are, especially when they're vulnerable and they're in a broken place.
So this is what I would say to that. I agree that with everything you say, except for the fact that it's not women's fault. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to get human beings to understand, right? Not just women, but men, right? Accountability gives you the most power. So you will never see a video of me telling guys, "Hey, bro, you're fat, you're out of shape, you're not having results with women." Nah, it's not your fault. It's the government fault. At some point, you only take the power back once you make yourself responsible. Yes, the ulterior motive for feminism was to get women out of the family unit. But when are women going to take accountability and say, okay, I cannot keep going down this road. I can't make these bad decisions. I have to pick the right guy for me now and not be so influenced by media and the government. So at some point, women have to take accountability. It can't be just the government forever, because when are you going to get the power back? And
Right.
who is giving me this advice? Who, like, this is the problem with dating for women. Like, nobody is telling y'all the truth, in my opinion. Nobody's giving y'all the advice that helps women long term, right? So telling women, oh no, it's the government. No, sweetheart, you need to fix your life. Don't fuck a bunch of dudes. Pick the right guy, right? Don't make the same mistakes that everybody else is making, so you can have a better outcome in the future. You get what I'm saying? Women need to start taking more accountability. Don't just leave it to the government. This is the only way you can be powerful.
Can I ask a question?
Right.
So you're saying like women shouldn't fuck a bunch of dudes, but is that the same thing for men then? Should men not fuck a bunch of women?
I think male and female loyalty are two different things. And I'm gonna explain. Hear me out, right? A man's loyalty is who he's willing to provide and protect for. Right? Would you guys agree that it's easy for you guys to get sex? Is it hard for any of y'all to get a dude to fuck you? You can go out in the street right now and say, I want sex. And you can.
But are we
sex,
talking about sex that we enjoy, or just the fact that we could get sex? Because I could, you can
sex.
get lots of things, but you can get lots of things that you don't enjoy.
When men don't have a choice, men have to. You have to, like I just explained. Men 18 to 30 are not having sex. They're not even being picked at all. So
I know lots of men that are still having sex, and they still choose to not have sex with lots of people because of personal preference. Just because something's on offer doesn't mean that you should just have it. Like, so to crucify women for the fact that sex is readily available is so silly, because the reason it's readily available is because men make themselves really easy.
But you're only
like, it's not our fault.
Group of men.
It's not our fault.
No. Here's where we're not giving women responsibility again. It's not like you're fucking everybody. You're fucking the same select group of men. This is why, yes, you might know people.
I'm not sleeping with anybody else.
Hear me out, Cassidy.
Saying you.
Listen to me. You might know guys who are having sex, but the majority of men are not having sex. So that means that women are sleeping with a select few men.
So are
who do you think they're sleeping with?
What'd you say?
Yeah, should we not have standards? Should we just have to be sleeping with everybody?
No,
is that what you'd like?
You're not getting relationship and marriage from these men, but you're turning around and complain that the dating pool sucks. You have a higher body count, you have higher divorce rates, you are more promiscuous than any generation of women, but you're getting the less for it. You're not getting the family.
And how do you feel? Is this constructive? Because we're not actually talking about ways to help women do better, because you're just telling us that women kind of suck and that we're sleeping with the same. How is this constructive?
I'm saying if you decide to preserve your value, to not give yourself out so much, you can find a better guy and get a relationship in the family. Don't fuck a bunch of dudes and then complain that the dating pool sucks. Be smart about your decision making in terms of dating. Don't be promiscuous, right? Find a man to raise a family with. Not the other way around.
Do you think women will hear you say this on your podcast? Women all around the world will listen to you say this on your podcast and go, I'm going to stop sleeping with lots of men now. Like
Okay,
the
that's
way
my
that
point.
you're,
That is
yeah,
my
no.
point.
So the
That is
way
my
you
point.
need to figure out a better way to package your content so that women, because if you want to,
they
okay, but you want to
people-
achieve, what you want to achieve is that you want women to not sleep with as many, you want
No, I
women to
want
sleep with
women to
less
have-
people. You want women in the home.
No. I want women to have more fruitful relationships because that's what you guys claim you want. You claim you
Yeah, okay,
want
but
a man to take care of you. You claim you want a family, but you're not making the right decisions.
Can
I
we
think-
stop
The point of this is
like
just
collectively grouping women into one?
What do you mean? Collective. I'm talking about the decision making of most women on the planet.
Okay, well, because like I'm sure Cassidy, like I've
But
heard
she's
her say, like
talking for
we
most
are
women.
not running out just fucking whoever's walking the street.
But
Like
guess
we
what?
are looking for
Guess-
meaningful relationships.
Guess what your fellow woman is doing.
okay, but
My fellow
you've got
women
us
are
on this
also
podcast
not
to
fucking
talk
whatever's
about
walking the
things.
street.
Right. So I'm trying to get you to understand. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Babying women is not helping you. You
Amen.
telling me to package my information so it sounds better and makes you feel good is not what's best for you. You need to hear the truth.
No, but if nobody, okay, but you're saying, okay, so you're saying the truth, right? And
Okay.
but you said most of your audience is males. You don't
Mhm.
really have many females after it. So regardless whether what you're saying is true or not, or whatever the statistics are, the way you are saying it is not working. Or else you would have women followers being like, "Wow, this guy is
No,
speaking
women
so
don't
much
want the
sense."
truth.
But you're no, okay. Well, then you need. So I thought that the
Women-
reason we were on this podcast was that we could come up with a collective way of packaging information better, so women could come up with a better way. But instead, all you've done this entire podcast is just tell us that women suck, and like it's just
I have
so
not said I have the word
That's-
suck has not come in my mouth one time.
like, okay, I'm sorry,
You-
I'm being
you're-
dramatic by saying suck,
Right,
but like,
so-
what your core message is that women just sleep around and they don't want to
No,
be in
you're
the home,
hearing-
which feels
you're
just
hearing the
ridiculous because
hard
like this
truth.
isn't constructive and
No, yes,
nobody's
it
learning
is.
anything. You're
It's
just
very constructive. You just don't want to accept the truth.
Okay.
It's hard for
I-
them to
Can we
hear
take
it.
this
It's
back?
listen. It's hard for you to hear something you're not used to hearing, which is be more
I've
accountable.
heard this a million times.
Okay,
It's
then
not,
why
this
aren't you
isn't
telling women
the
the same thing?
information you're giving isn't.
Then,
you
then
want
why,
to
how
like
come women are getting? Why come women are not getting better results with dating? How come you're not getting more marriages? Because
I
telling women
have
the
really
easy
good
way ain't working.
I have a really good result with dating. I can't speak for every other woman on the planet. I literally have just recently like redirected my career because I've met the man of my dreams and we're going to start a family soon, and that's what I want. Okay.
Okay.
So I've made that decision because I was like, my career can be reformatted and done a different way. Now that I've met the love of my life, the father of my children, I am going to settle down and I want to do that. That's just me, and that's how I live my life. I can't dictate or control the way other women talk. And I definitely don't think the way that this podcast is formatted is going to make any woman change the way that she is, because you're just so aggressive. And I get that you're really passionate about this. And I think it's cool that you believe in traditional values and cool that you believe in providing and protecting for women. That's a really cool thing. But how can you package this information and be surprised that women don't listen to you?
Because human beings only learn through pain, and women are going through enough pain that you're not going to realize it till it's too late.
Yeah.
The-
If something,
shit, listen to me.
I think we're not really prepared for the style of this content, but this is how the shows are. I guess maybe did you think that you were gonna come on? It was gonna be like a let's all talk.
Well, yeah, he said he was like, I really want to learn from you. That's what he said
No,
before we
I'm
came on. He
giving
was
you
like,
an opportunity.
I just
Listen,
want to learn from you, and we all want to
Catherine,
learn from each other. And now
Catherine.
he's just like, I hate women. It's so
See,
confusing.
There we go. Generalization. You're putting words into my mouth. I've never said I hate women. I'm telling women to make better decisions. I'm telling women to have a better future. But you hearing the truth sounds like hate to you. This is the problem women have. Those words that came into your mind, hate, angry. This is the problem women have. Hearing the truth hurts. This is why
I feel like the problem is you're stressing to us and like telling us how women should act, but we aren't necessarily the women that you are complaining about.
Okay, and what I'm telling you is, I'm going back to her. She is talking about career, feminism, and the impact it has had on women. And I'm saying this babying of women is what has the female population in the where you guys are right now, sleeping with a bunch of men, not getting relationships, not getting babying women. And then you I have not said one negative word about women. I'm over here trying to vouch for you to get a better relationship, and you're hearing hate, anger, Why? It's because you have been programmed to think that
Right.
the truth is, which is
Can
what
we?
hurts you. You know what I'm saying? Is anger towards women, which is not. You need accountability. Like you need to be say, hey, stop fucking up. You can't baby women forever. This is why
So
you're not. Go ahead, Vita. Go ahead.
not to like veer off, but scientifically proven, not that all science is real, but the best way to get a woman to actually do something is to praise something good that she's doing. It's like, oh,
How has that been working? You've been praising
it's been
promiscuity,
well,
praising all this
so I,
negative behavior about women, and it ain't working.
no, no, I understand what you're saying. Can we actually go back to the debate? So you were emphasizing that I forgot what you were saying, but you were saying that women need to kind of either lower their standards or we need to look for.
No,
You were sorry, my bad. I'm not trying to put like words in your mouth, but you were pretty much saying that the reason you were implying that the reason most men are not having sex is because of women. Isn't that correct?
no, there is responsibility for male and women, men and women, right?
I was
But
gonna like pornography is a huge
100.
factor. And
See,
who does pornography? Men and women, mostly women. But
right, and women, but men are affected by it the most.
right, absolutely.
I 100% agree.
That's a huge reason why a lot of men are not having sex, because how easy and convenient is it to just do the same old thing in your own room and not have to bother anyone, not have to work on yourself. I
Right,
don't
and
necessarily just like women having really high standards. I have some pretty high standards, but um, I think I should have high standards being the woman that I am.
so the problem is this, guys. Right, women in their prime are sleeping with higher status dudes. You have a lot of guys in your DMs, in your inbox. Instead of dating for marriage or dating to find a partner, you're just exploring the market. You're encouraged to do this, but you're the one suffering the most long term. Once you get
Yeah,
past your youth, right, and you've been with a bunch of dudes, right, and now you want a guy to settle down with, you have created a reputation for yourself that men don't want to be a part of. This is what something else that women don't want to understand. Men are not okay with you sleeping around and then coming to save you in your 30s. This is who men are.
right.
I can say this in a calm tone, calm man, but the only way that human beings are gonna change is through pain. If you go and look at my channel, all right, I bitch at men every single day. You're fat, you're out of shape, you don't make no money, you're doing this. Some guys listen, some guys don't. And I'm saying for women to get the benefit or to actually get what they think they deserve or what they want from dating, they need the same harsh reality. You need the same tough love because you've been praised for so long and you're not getting what you want.
That's
50% of marriages end in divorce.
I think it's more actually, maybe a little
Right.
more.
And it's mostly initiated by women.
Yeah, 70%.
So has feminism been a net positive or net negative? What I don't want women to think is we over here we hate women. There's no hate to women, but hearing the truth, right? It can't trigger you. You can't get offended by the truth because it's something that maybe challenges your beliefs. Just sit and analyze who has your best benefit. Me telling you, hey, it might not be a good idea to sleep with a bunch of dudes, right? Destroy your pair bonding skills, right? Make yourself cold and empty, and then in the future, you just expect the guy to come save you, or the whole world telling, yeah, girl, do whatever you want, sleep with who you want, yeah, boss babe, boss babe. You giving your youth to a company, they fire you, they will replace you like this. Are you more powerful in the workforce or in your home?
Home.
Like we're talking about empowerment. We're talking about empowerment. Hey, female empowerment. You're not saying you don't be educated, not saying don't get earned for yourself, but your power is raising your own kids. What do you guys think about that? Go ahead. Feel free to say whatever you want to say.
Does anyone else?
But
Catherine, go ahead. Whatever you want to say. I'm here.
Okay, all I'm saying is like exactly what Vita said is like, obviously your goal and your message is to get women not sleeping around and stuff, but also you could just focus on improving men. Like you doing what you're doing here, all of this is doing is feeding your audience. Your audience is loving this. Like your men that are watching are being like, yeah, women need to stop sleeping around. That's their fault. They should stop sleeping around and we'll get more, you know. But this isn't going to positively affect women. Just like Vita said, how like women do not do better by being shamed into things. Men do. I understand that that works for men, but men and women are different. And that's why women are better in the home and they're better nurturers and they're better carers, because we actually receive information really differently to men. All I'm saying, and my only issue with this whole podcast, is this has been super unconstructive, because I don't think a single woman would have watched this and been like, oh, I'm going to stop sleeping around now. Like, I can't imagine a single woman watching this being like, I'm going to change the way that I'm living. I'm going to start working. Like, we could have talked about so much more constructive ways of becoming a better woman and doing those things.
No,
but all you're focused on.
The thing is, you can't mask a problem to make somebody feel better. I have not screamed.
I'm not asking you to.
No.
But we have
to make women feel better. But there's a way to. By the way, like, I'm not against anything that you're saying, but I think you can say, hey, women, you guys are wrong. You guys are doing terrible stuff. You guys need to change your mind, change your life. That I feel like does not really work for women. But there is another way of saying it. Rather, you don't have to baby them or anything or sugarcoat. You can be so straightforward, but maybe, I mean, I think we should talk about the root of promiscuity, the root of, we already spoke a little bit about the root of feminism.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. When I proposed the question, so I didn't just come out and say women should do this and this. I proposed the question. I said, has feminism be a net positive or net negative? I didn't explain where the root of where feminism came from. Explain what was the purpose to make you feel like this way. Then I explained what you shouldn't do. How has that been anything other than straightforward and to the point? I've not said anything negative about women. I'm saying here's the problem that this is the issue, this is the question, and this is what women should stop doing. How soft do you want me to say this?
You can package it however you want to. It's your podcast. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, if your goal is to get women to not sleep around as much, and your goal is to get women in the home and being better mothers, the way that you're going about it isn't going to work. No woman is going to listen to this podcast and be like, I am going to change. So you're not achieving your goal. You're just catering to your audience, which is cool. And that's how you have followers, and that's great.
That's BS, because you just heard the truth. If you agree is the truth, why aren't you taking the torch and saying, you know what, women, we need to stop doing this. Stop packaging it in a way to get we're going back to the problem. You're trying to package something so you can not hurt the feelings. I'm telling you.
No, we're trying to get the outcome that we want.
Okay.
It's about getting the outcome that we want, isn't it?
Okay. So what? It
doesn't actually matter the journey. You can go your way, but I'm just saying your way isn't helping women.
Okay, Cassidy, how would
your way is making you feel better?
No, it's not making me feel better. I'm helping people. How would you propose you're
helping men?
I'm asking you a question. Since the way I'm stating it doesn't make sense or it's too harsh, how would you propose about feminism, how women should stop being promiscuous? Let us know.
Okay, well, on my personal TikTok, I just talk a lot about how much I like praise my boyfriend, how much I love my boyfriend, nice things I do to support my boyfriend, how happy I am in my relationship, how he supports me. So instead of shaming women for sleeping around, I never go on my page and be like, you shouldn't sleep around. I go, oh my gosh, like, I had a great day with my partner. He did this for me. I did this for him. Like the other day, he was having a really tough couple of days. So I laid out his outfit to go to the gym, and I packed his gym bag for him. I gave him a little snack, and I was like, Nick's about to finish work. I've packed his gym bag. I've gotten it all ready, and I've filled his water bottle. And I'm like, because I know when he gets out of work, it's going to be so much easier for him to go to the gym. And he came out of work and he's like, oh, thanks. And like, that's how I promote it, because I just promote it by being like, hey, yeah, you can sleep around, do whatever you want, it's your body. I love being in a relationship. I love being loved by my partner. I love loving him, and I promote it that way. And I feel like that's so much more constructive, because so many women will follow that and be like, oh, this is such a cool way of promoting.
You're not being honest. You're not being totally honest, because you're showing what you're supposed to do, but you're not calling the behavior that's stopping women from getting the same thing that you have. That's not honesty. If I tell guys, hey, look at me, I'm successful, I make money, I'm in great shape, look at me doing all these great things, but I'm not calling out the behaviors that are stopping them from getting to where I am, then I'm not really helping them.
I just feel like it's obvious that I'm not sleeping around, considering all I do is talk about my partner online.
You need to.
Do you think that? So you think that girls are watching my content, watching my TikTok content of me loving and praising my boyfriend and being like, she's probably still sleeping around? No, they're not. They're watching the content and being like, oh, she's probably really faithful and loving to her partner.
Listen, you're not giving the women who don't have understanding on why they should do what you're doing, why they should change. You're not helping change. You're just showing a behavior.
Human behaviors, humans just like to copy. We just like to see something and then we just copy. That's literally, we don't need to know and understand.
Not if you've been brainwashed to believe something else. Women have
think about it. We got brainwashed by copying people. So all you have to do is see a good amount of good, positive media to copy the new media, and it gets better. Do you know what I mean? We got brainwashed by watching all of this promiscuity, right? And all you have to do is counteract it and see non-promiscuity in the media, and then you just copy that naturally. And over time, if you have enough people having positive media, people will just naturally copy it, and it will just get better.
Okay, so how do human beings change?
By copying.
No, human beings have to go through a pain point for them to be forced to change. Mm-hmm. Nobody changes because they see it's pain. You have to go through pain that forces you to change. You're not helping the women that you claim to be helping by actually. But
you don't have to go through pain. You don't have to go through pain. No, but I don't have to put you through pain. Naturally, in life, people go through pain. You don't have to put somebody through pain. They can experience that all on their own and learn.
Oh, so you would rather the girls sleep around to their 40s and then end up with no man, and then that's when they.
I'd rather people just live their own lives. It's not my business.
That's not honesty. You're not having integrity. I don't want women to go through the same mistakes. Let me stop you from going through pain and make the right decision.
But you're not stopping anybody by the way you're behaving and the way that you are.
Behavior? So okay, let's simplify this. You just explained to me that in order you prefer people to live the life that they want and then just copy what you're doing. Instead of telling them, hey, you're going to experience a lot of pain if you don't stop what you're doing, you're just showing them the life that they can have. That's not integrity. I don't want my audience to go through pain of being broke, being left out, being ignored. So I say, hey,
didn't you just say pain? You have to go through pain.
Every human being has to go through pain to want to change.
But you're trying to stop everybody from going through pain.
I'm trying to learn from the mistakes of others. Hey, I made these mistakes. Don't make these mistakes so you don't go through the same pain. Not, oh, look at me. I'm successful now. I'm doing great. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're trying to play both sides. You're not truly helping the audience that you claim you're trying to help. Because if you were, you'd be saying, no, ladies, stop fucking up. Stop doing these things because you will go through this pain and you won't see the change that you want until you go through this pain. You're trying to be, oh yeah, look at me, I'm having a great life, but I don't want to tell you what to do so I don't piss you off. I'm saying I don't care about pissing you off. You're going to go through hard times if you don't stop the behaviors that you're doing now. That's me having integrity.
Yeah, but do you reckon your integrity works on a female audience? Because did you just say that you're...
If women like you did the same thing, if you were honest about it. There are female dating coaches who have big channels that women listen to as well. So women are listening. Women are changing. But to say, oh, I'm just going to let people live the life that they want to live, you're not really being honest. You're kind of playing both sides to not piss people off. That's not really having integrity.
So hypothetically, like, let's say like you do post like fitness stuff, like, don't you think that men who are not fit see that and crave how you look, so therefore they better themselves by seeing how well you're doing.
But
It's like the same thing. Like
okay,
when you're on social media and you see a really cute couple, like women like in their biologically get upset from seeing that due to the fact that like that's what they crave. They crave a relationship biologically. Therefore, like when you are seeing like a really cute couple on social media, like you then therefore crave that. Therefore, you go through pain.
well, this is the unfortunate reality of most human beings that I would agree on, right? Most people are lazy, and most people don't want to work hard. You can tell people, "Oh, look at me, I'm in great shape," but they're not going to want to put in the work. But if you say, "Hey, you're never going to get a girlfriend. You're never going to get the job that you want. You're never going to be respected. Nobody's going to ever take you seriously unless you change your life." People start to say, "Oh, damn, I don't want to experience this kind of pain, so let me change." Just seeing a great body is not enough. Go ahead,
What you're
Vito.
saying is actually true. Jordan Peterson, and he said there was a study done where they got starved rats or let's do starved rats, and then they would put like a rat in a tube, and then on one side of the tube they had like the smell of cheese, and the rats, like, they were so weak because they were starved, and they were like hardly coming close to the cheese. They were hardly running, and I think they may have even been like restrained or pulled down in some sort of way. And then they did the study again with the same starved rats. They put a piece of cheese at the end so that they can run towards the goal. But this time they put a cat on the other side of the tube. So now at this point, the rat was running away from the cat, and he reached the cheese way faster, way more efficiently. Because it is true. Even like, let's say financially, if I like want this lavish life, that's not going to really be enough motivation or enough of a drive for me to get there than my fear of being broke and being homeless. My fear, like my deep fear of the alternative from having a good life is what's actually going to push me to have the good life. So I agree with what you're saying, and it's actually proven that just having this like.
Let me say this. Let me add this. Do you guys know one of the most successful types of marketing posts in the world? It's a before and after. It's a transformation. Why do you think that is? People could just show that they're great body, right? People can just show, "Hey, I'm ripped. Look at me, be like me." But seeing people change, seeing people go from point A to point B is what resonates with people and encourages them to change even more. If they don't see the change, it's just, "Oh, you were already like this." So what I'm saying, Cassidy, is you need to show them that hey, there's a pain point that you're going to experience if you don't change. I might have made some mistakes that you're making now. I might have did some things that you're doing now. And these are the pains that I went through. If you have integrity, you say, "Hey, I don't want you to go through these same problems. Do this so you can get the results you want. Get the boyfriend that I have. Get the relationship that I have." That's integrity. Not, "Oh, I don't want to piss you off. Do whatever you want. But this is my life."
So I showed the whole journey of when I was single, because I was on bail and my life was like in pieces a couple of years ago, and then like everything changed, and that journey has been completely shown on my social media, and I've like showed that and portrayed that, and I just show my life, and that's how I do it. But I just don't think it's constructive to tell people that they have to stop doing this or stop doing that. I just think it's so much more constructive to just be the change.
Yeah, but
like I don't.
But the thing is, the problem with that is it doesn't push people enough. If you were to say, "Hey guys, these are some bad positions I was in at the point when I was single. These are some things, these were some really low lows. I don't want you to make these mistakes. I don't want you to experience these lows as well. Here's my life now, but look at the mistakes I made. Don't make these same mistakes. Look how sad I was. Look how horrible my life was. Look how unhappy I was." That will resonate with your audience more, opposed to, "Oh, here's my journey. Now look at me."
Yeah, okay, well, I understand that. I definitely I get where you're coming from way more with that. I like understand that, like comparing the two things. I just don't think shaming people where they are currently at is ever like really necessary in the way that I view content and the way that I like doing content. I'm also talking about my mistakes and the way that I've changed, but I just don't think it's okay to like shame another person. I just don't think that's constructive.
The truth, when women are being promiscuous, They actually feel a lot of shame. What's interesting is they feel shame after they have sex with a bunch of people. But what sucks is that feeling of shame only leads them to continue doing the same thing. Like, it doesn't actually fix anything. But did you have any more
No,
questions?
let's get to the next point. That was great. That was a good first. Let's get to number 2. Right, we can't be on 1 point for a year. All right, next thing we want to talk about. How do you feel about men dating younger women? Is it creepy? Is it okay? When I say younger, I don't mean underage. Let me make this very clear. I mean women who are adults. But let's say a guy's in his 40s, he wants to date 20-year-olds. What do you feel about? How do you guys feel about that? Is that creepy? Okay? What do you think?
I think it really depends on the age. Like, it's kind of, to me, it's a little weird. But if 50s and he's going after a woman who's 22, for example, I think that's a little bit weird. But at the end of the day, I do understand the point and the concept. It makes a lot of sense. The older a man is, well, actually in his 40s, 40s, 50s, that's when men like really reach their peak. I think, if I might have it wrong, but from what I understand. So if they're at their peak, why should they not have a woman who's in her peak? So it makes sense. Yeah, I agree with it, but it does get weird when it's like really, really old men.
Okay.
I think as long as neither person is like compromising a phase of life that they're going through, like if somebody's in their like early 20s and they're wanting to be really social and they're wanting to be out with their friends and stuff, and then they start dating somebody in their late 30s or early 40s and they have to start compromising that phase of their life for their relationship, I don't think that's right. But if two people are happy and it's all consented, then I feel like people should be able to do what they want.
Personally, I feel like it's completely fine. Like, it's scientifically proven that men actually mature later or like less than women. So like women might mature when they're 23 and men might mature like when they're 25. Personally, I tend to go for older guys, but again, I feel like there is like an age gap where like it should be cut off. Like 20 years is a little much. But I feel like 10 years is like acceptable.
So as long as you're not a 60-year-old man chasing an 18-year-old woman, I agree with that. I don't think men should be dating women 50 years younger than them, right? I say 10 to 15 years max, depending on from the age of 18. She has to be at least 18. But I want to go back to Cassidy, right? So the point you made about, I agree with everything else, but the point you made about compromising a phase in your life to be with somebody else in the age. Wouldn't you agree that that is why most women are not settling down when they're in their youth? Is because they believe that they should be having this phase, right? This phase where they should go out, do whatever they want. Don't you think that phase is more harmful to women than good?
I think, well, personally, I feel like some people need to be alone and like depends on like it's got a huge amount to do with trauma and what you went through as a child. Like some people need to figure out their own selves. Like I know I met my boyfriend 5 years before we got together, and I know that when I met him, like if we had gotten together, we would have messed up the relationship. I was just super young. I didn't know what I wanted. I was really like I was not a great person. Do you know what I mean? I'm so thankful that we took 5 years and we didn't see each other. And then when we got back together, I was so much more of a whole person. I felt so much happier. And now the relationship's great. And I know that I wouldn't have done that if we dated when we first got together. And that's just life sometimes. Like I knew that I needed to be by myself. I knew that I couldn't be a good partner to anybody with the way that I was. And that's just life sometimes. And sometimes you just have to figure out what you are going to need for your own growth and ability to enjoy your life.
But okay, now when women say that, it usually means I want to experiment and see what I want to do if this is what I want to do. And the problem with that is a lot of men feel like you're basically throwing me to the curb and then picking me back up when you're ready, right? A relationship, men and women have to compromise. So I don't think it's fair that a man should wait for you to figure it out. And then, when you're ready, that's when the relationship should start. Because he has to compromise. You have to compromise. And the problem is a lot of women take this time to sleep around. You get a lot more bodies. You get a lot more soul ties. And we're gonna go back to the core of who men are. Men do not like women who are promiscuous. So if 5 years ago you weren't ready, but you dated other guys until your boyfriend, did you or did you not? Did you go and date other guys until you came back to your boyfriend? Or was it solely by yourself?
No, I did.
Okay,
I
so
had
that's
one relationship.
Okay, so you went and experimented to see if you could find or to realize what was best for you. If you look at the grand scheme of things, that is not fair to a man.
Okay, but now, so say we had dated 5 years ago, we would have broken up. There's no way we would be together. I was so traumatized. Like I behaved so poorly, like in every aspect. And I'm not talking about promiscuity. I'm talking about how reactive I was. I had a really bad temper. I didn't have a routine. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. Like I was 22 years old and I just didn't know. And I really liked him, but I was like, oh, I just know that I wouldn't be able to hold space for this man. Like I wouldn't be able to give him the life that he deserves and the partner that he deserves and be who he needed. And like that was just not going to work. So we made friends and everything was mellow and nothing is that big of a deal. And now when we've met again and I was 27, I was fully together. I had a career, I had a house, I had all of the things that I wanted, and I could give him and I could be the partner that I wanted to be for him. And now we're super happy. So I get what you're saying, and I know it's in your head, it's just promiscuity, but I think sometimes in life you just need to learn and grow up.
Right. The only problem with that is men value youth, right? Men value youth and beauty. So when a woman's prime, when she's youthful and beautiful, a man's prime when he's established. And a lot of men are overlooked 5 years ago for a girl like Cassidy who needs to figure it out. But a lot of women also think that that man should wait around 5 years and should still be willing to take Cassidy back. And I'm saying that's not.
It's not like that at all. Like we just
I get
happened.
it.
Literally nothing happened. We met one night. He was really established in his career. He was really grown up. He had all of his shit together. And I was 22 years old. I just didn't know what I wanted. And I knew that I couldn't be anything. Like I would have felt so silly dating a man that owned businesses when I was a 22-year-old flight attendant. Like what was I going to talk to him about? How was I going to he was going to get home from work and be talking about business. And I was going to be like, I poured coffee and tea today. Like we didn't have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think men for a girl that they have a lot of really cool topics to talk about. I think men actually prefer an established man prefers a woman who is not so established so that he can be the one to establish her and to mold her because she is his rib at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't think men like to chat with their guys. They like to talk about cool stuff with their bros, but I think when it comes to
but it was about what I was going to also want in a relationship. Like I would have preferred to be able to be like understand what he was talking about and be able to help him and talk to him. And that's what I love about our relationship is how we talk about everything. We have these really intellectual conversations. It's really cool and stimulating for me. I wouldn't have been super stimulated if he just if I didn't understand anything and if I was super young and I hadn't grown up. I just wanted to grow up a bit. And I think that we shouldn't crucify women from wanting to do their own thing and be their own person.
No. This is where the problem comes in. Because in those 5 years, you gave yourself to somebody else. And remember, what do men value? We value a woman that is for us. So yeah, you can go find yourself and be, but you were giving yourself to other men. And then 5 years fast forward, I'm supposed to now understand that you need to find yourself after you've given yourself to other people. That is not what a man values. I'm explaining to you that men, we value a woman that is not giving herself to other people. So if you needed to take time, great. Most men, right, will not be okay, and they should not be okay with a woman finding herself, and that finding herself means other men as well, and then take me 5 years later. Because men don't get that. We don't get that. We don't get that same token, right? As a man, either you have yourself together, you're established, or you're not. Women will overlook you. So when a woman wants to find herself, and that includes getting with other men, in men's eyes, that reduces your value. Go ahead, Aspen.
So I feel like it's a double-edged sword again. Like, obviously, if women are supposed to like just settle down immediately, like when you first get into that first relationship, like you have to not only learn yourself and how you love and how you want to be loved, but what you're looking for in a husband. Like, I guarantee if I would have married my first boyfriend, it would have been horrible. Like, I can just like I feel like it's important for women and men to both date so they figure out what they want in a husband or a wife.
Yeah, but when you say date, that usually means having sex with other men, and that itself,
Oh my God.
that itself,
we're talking about growing as a person emotionally. Like, we're not. This isn't just about sex. This is about understanding. Do you not?
Listen,
we're not comparing dick sizes. We're comparing personality traits.
We don't care though. You're still opening your legs to other men. See, what you guys value from men. Listen to me. Women always get this confused. What you value from men is what you want men to value from you. Let me switch my camera. Hold up. 1 second.
What I'm trying to say is when I do break up with a boyfriend and date around, number one, I'm dating to marry. I'm not dating to fuck, one night stands, hookups. I don't do any of that. Like, I'm dating to find who I want to marry, who I want to spend the rest of my life with. And when you first originally, like, when you date your first boyfriend, which is probably like in high school, like, you're not going to marry that person. Like, obviously you're dating, you're trying to figure out who you want as a husband characteristically wise. I'm not looking at them being like, oh, who has the better body, who's got the bigger dick, who has better sex. I'm looking at it as who's going to be a good father to my kids, who's going to be able to provide to me, who's going to make me safe. That's what I'm looking at it as, not as, oh, which guy's got the bigger dick. Because frankly, personally, I don't.
So do you think we should all have dated? Do you think we all should have married the person that our first boyfriend? Do you reckon that's how the world should work? Every woman should mate.
No. You shouldn't have to marry the first boyfriend. But if you go and give yourself to other men, your value reduces in men's eyes.
So we have to stay virgins and until we find
this is
somebody.
Traditional women. This is
so that's your whole message. Your whole thing.
What'd you say, Vita?
I said we should stay virgins until marriage.
Okay,
go ahead, Aspen. Go ahead.
I definitely feel like you said women value in men's eyes. When a woman opens her legs for men, they decrease in value, like we're some sort of property.
No. Okay, here we go with the shaming tactics.
Well,
what did you value?
Did you or did you not use the term value?
Stop. You value a man who's stable, can provide for you. Most women look at men as expendable products. Oh, what can he provide? He can provide a family. He's this. You just said you're looking for the man who can enhance and better your life. So a man, he should just be okay with you doing whatever you want to do with your body when what he values is the fact that you're not giving yourself to other men. You see how that double standard goes? Oh, no, I'm supposed to find myself. But no, you got to accept me for finding myself with multiple dicks. No, that's not what men value.
Finding yourself doesn't have to involve multiple dicks.
I agree.
Like with men, like, does it not matter? Should it not matter to us women if they have fucked many girls? Is that a double standard as well?
Biology, it doesn't matter to women as it matters to men. Women do not care.
Okay, but by promoting the fact. Promoting the fact that men should sleep with multiple women is promoting the fact that women should sleep with multiple men, because there's no way for men to sleep with multiple women unless women are sleeping with multiple men. Do you know what I mean? Like, think about what you're saying.
No.
You can't promote the idea of a woman only sleeping with one person.
Listen to me.
And then also promote the idea of men sleeping with lots of people, because how are the men going to sleep with lots of people if the women only want to sleep with one?
Let me explain.
Okay.
A man needs to become the best version of himself, and if he wants to have multiple women and be able to take care of them, he should.
Then how does that
exist? You should only sleep with one guy. You be with one guy.
You can't think about.
Yes, you can. What are you talking about? I'm saying one guy for multiple women. Don't sleep with 50 dudes. Go ahead. What do you want to explain?
Okay, so what you're saying is there should be one man and then he should have multiple different relationships with women.
No, he
But
should
those
have
women-
one woman that he should have a wife, and most men want to have other women that they date and sleep with. This is the reality of who men are. I'm giving you the truth. I'm telling you, you don't have
do
to
you
like
think that that's okay in today's times?
women are doing it without marriage. You're not even getting the protection out of it.
Okay.
You're sleeping with multiple
Look.
dudes, but not even getting the profession.
That's
not
not
even
what I
getting
asked.
protection. I'm saying
This
that
has been
it's
really fun,
absolute-
but
People,
this
I'm
is
saying a man and a woman are in a relationship. They are married by law, have kids. Do you think it's okay for them to sleep around? Sleep with
no.
other
Only
people?
the man is the only person that gets to sleep around.
Why only the
Okay.
man? Why can't the woman?
I'm gonna
If
go
you
now.
provide
This
it.
is really boring. This has been fun. Thank you for having me. I have other
Triggered.
stuff to do
It's
today.
okay to be triggered. It's
Um,
okay to be triggered.
Okay,
All right.
thank you so much. This is
Peace. Can't handle the truth, man. You got to be able to handle the truth and defend your points.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So back to my question. So why is it that men can sleep around and have multiple partners while in a marriage where women cannot?
Let me explain. Right.
I'd love for you to.
Right. Men biologically want to spread our seed. We want to be with multiple women. This is how kings, emperors, this is how you got here. You got here. You and I both got here because a powerful, strong man was able to spread his seed. Guess what happened if you're a man who couldn't spread your seed? You died off. So men biologically, we've always wanted to have multiple women. I'm saying if you're going to have multiple women, don't lie about it. Be honest about it. But you must be willing to take care of these women that you claim to be your woman. So if you're going to have one girl, right, and you want to date, you got to be frank with her about it. Be honest with her about it. All right. Be safe, but you got to be willing to take care of these women. That's what I'm saying.
The thing that you're saying about spreading your seed, it sounds like you're implying that the sole purpose of sex is to reproduce. Is that what you're saying?
For men, it's to not just reproduce, it's to conquer. It's not about reproduction. For women,
I think there's two purposes of sex, and that's that's intimacy between a husband and a wife, and that's to reproduce. And I think both men and women should be monogamous. I think it sounds cool and it sounds empowering that you're this alpha male or you're this sigma and you're sleeping around with a bunch of chicks. Like it sounds like this, like, oh, I'm the conqueror, I'm the king.
But this is the problem.
At the end of the day, like I always think about Andrew Tate. Like I think that his 4 or 5 wives, however many he has, like they must be so torn and so broken because there's nothing. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think that men should be monogamous, no matter how much you want to be a conqueror. Find other ways to be a conqueror.
No. But then you're going against his nature, and he won't be happy, and he's going to cheat on you, and then have a kid outside of the marriage, anyways.
Did you know?
Sorry to
spill the word, but pedophiles also say that's my nature. Leave me alone.
No,
my nature.
no, let's not. See, here we go, shaming men for what we want to do in dating, and then trying to associate a negative annotation towards it. Oh, because men have for centuries want to sleep with other women, now they got to be pedophiles. This is what women do. This is the number one shaming tactic of women.
They'll take like another example. Yeah,
explaining who men are. This is what men value. You can't change who we are. We're not pedophiles because we want to date multiple women. Don't try to associate a negative.
No.
But that was the comparison you just gave. You say, well, pedophiles say they have the same nature. Let's not try to shame men by making us look like sickos because of who we are.
No. That's not at all what I'm doing. So you said this is just our nature. We are men, and our nature is to spread our seed and to have multiple chicks, right? And I'm saying in that same way, pedophiles also make the same argument. I'm not comparing you to a pedophile. I'm saying that pedophiles also make the same argument. Well, it's just my nature. I can't help it. It's
let
just
me ask you this.
who I am.
Let me ask you this. Are women stupid because they want a man that's bigger than them, stronger than them, can lead, is more emotionally secure? Are women stupid because of that?
No, they're not stupid. And men are not stupid for wanting a pure woman. I completely
No. Damn, men are not stupid for wanting to date multiple women. This is who we are. Women, biologically, women are designed to get the best guy.
Okay.
But then on the other side of that, like you're saying that men are biologically like wired to spread their seed, but then aren't women biologically like wired to get pregnant and have kids and reproduce? So then
From
what's
the best
stopping
guy.
us?
That's why you want the man who's bigger, stronger, smarter. You want the best guy.
Okay, what happens if
Women are
guy
not
A and guy B
biologically.
are the exact same guy? Is it wrong for then us to get pregnant by both guy A and guy B?
No, you're not listening to me. Women want the best guy. Women are
They're
not.
equal.
No, this is why. Have you ever heard of female hypergamy? Hypergamous nature of women. Women want the best option so your offspring survives. Do you know why the kings and the sultans had multiple women? It was because those women would rather have the children of the king than the peasant. Why did they pick the king and not all of the men in the village? Because he gave their offspring the better chance to survive. Women are biologically hardwired to pick the man who can guarantee that your offspring survives. That man. And men, we are hardwired to pick the woman to spread our seed all over. That's why kings had hundreds of children. So
I heard you drop something. It was like maybe 20 minutes ago. You said soul ties.
mm-hmm.
Do you think it is good for a man to have, for example,
men don't look at sex emotionally. Men don't look at sex emotionally. We don't. This is who we don't. This is why we want to spread our seed. It's less risk for men when we have sex. We're not the same. Women are more emotional through sex. This is why you want to be with one man. This is why you don't sleep with every guy. Vita, Aspen. When I ask you guys a question in the beginning, I say how easy it is for you to get sex. You can literally go outside and shout out, and hundreds of men will want to sleep with you. That selection process is not the same for those guys. They just want to fuck. So sex is not as emotional to us as it is to women. So trying to have the same standards for men and women in terms of monogamy, I think is why most men cheat. I don't want men to cheat. I don't encourage men to go behind their girls' back. But I'm telling ladies that women and men, we look at sex differently. We're not as emotional. We will sleep. Men will fuck a hole in the wall. We have 7 times more testosterone than women.
It's unfortunate because I really, I don't have the facts to lay out why men should be monogamous other than the fact that I'm a Christian and the Bible says,
that's fair.
Man and woman. So it's like, yeah, I guess my idea, I'm basing it completely off of the Bible, but I wish I had a way to.
And that's fair. Would you be okay? Let me ask you this. And I respect both of y'all for being able to argue your points without being triggered. Right? Yeah. Say what you guys say and without being upset and leaving, right? But would you be okay if your man, if you got the best guy? I'm not saying, ladies, go fuck some bum and let him give you a kid and then he get to cheat. I don't think you should give bums the option to cheat. Regular guys who are just barely doing anything for you. This is where the problem lies. Women, your selective process in terms of a mate, you're not picking the best guy or showing value to the best guy. Would you guys agree, or would you guys be okay if you did find that guy who's willing to provide for you, protect for you, right? Take care of your kids and everything, but he just needed to sleep with other girls every now and then. But you're still the main girl.
No way.
I feel like you're contradicting yourself because just before you said something about women wanting to find the best man, and for most women nowadays, they don't want a man who's gonna cheat on them. And I understand that that's biologically their nature, but that is why the dating pool is so horrible, because all women want is for a monogamous relationship between all aspects.
How am I contradicting myself? I've been very clear with my stance. Women are sleeping with the same group of men. Those men still want to sleep with a bunch of women.
But you're asking why we're sleeping with all these men and then we're not getting in marriages because we can't rely on the men that we are sleeping with.
You're not accepting the reality that men want to sleep with other women. That is why
we don't have to accept that reality.
Okay, then you need
you can pick
to
and
be
choose.
okay.
How you get to pick and choose what body count your wife has.
Right. So guess what?
Get to pick and choose what relationship we have is monogamous.
So okay, let me break some truth to you. Men, we have to protect, provide. Nobody's coming to save us. Women, if you get a high enough value guy, he's going to want to sleep with other women. You don't have to accept that. You don't have to accept that, right? You can pick whatever you want, but when he cheats on you, you get shattered, you get heartbroken, and I'm telling you, If you just accepted the fact that this is who men are, right? As long
Well,
as
to challenge that, if you just accepted the fact that women are promiscuous, just
women are not
accept it.
promiscuous, though. Women are not promiscuous. You're not biologically promiscuous. You're not. You
Not biologically.
emotionally. It's what I'm saying. You want to be with one guy and pick the best guy. You're promiscuous now because it's the new trend. No, you're not promiscuous by nature.
Yeah. So to answer your question, there's no planet that I could live on where I would be okay with my husband sleeping with other women. I think that that's not the ideal husband, and that's not a high value man in my eyes.
That's fine. That's fine.
I would much rather have a man who I know will not cheat on me and stay with me and my children than have a top tier man who will not stay with me and will cheat on me and leave my children.
But do you see? Okay, I didn't say leave your children, but do you see why? Do you see the poor decision making? Do you see the poor decision making you just stated, Aspen? You rather
yes, I would much rather have a lower class man who I know
monogamous who will still cheat on you on the side without you knowing. No. He's still gonna cheat. You're just not gonna know.
So you're telling me 100% of men cheat.
Most men, I'm not saying cheat.
No, 100%.
Cheat to me is providing the same thing he provides for another woman, right? For you. I say a man's loyalty is giving you the home, giving you the children. If he wants to have a side chick here and there, then you need to accept the fact that he wants to have that. But you get the home, you get the family, you get the protection and provision. You want to say, okay.
Let me rephrase that question. So you're saying 100% of men will sleep with other women?
If they had an opportunity to. And guess what, Aspen? The lower tier men do it even worse. You know why? Because they don't have the options. At least the higher level guys can say no. If you get you a baller who's used to being with women, he can at least turn some women down. You go pick that lower tier dude who can't get ass. Let his coworker just even look at him twice. He gonna take it. This is who men are. And then now you're shattered because you picked the lower value dude, and his nature is still the same.
Okay.
I don't think. Let me say something. I think women look at cheating. Let me bring this all in circle. This is how I know that women are not promiscuous by nature. It's because cheating is such a big deal to you. The reason cheating is such a big deal, or sleeping with multiple people is such a big deal to you, is because it's an emotional thing for you. So you see the same thing as what men should value. But men we don't look at sex as emotional as you. That's how I know men are not promiscuous by nature. Because if you sex for you is something so emotional, such between two people, it's not the same thing for men. Yeah. So if go ahead.
Your argument is that it's in your nature. Right. Would you say that there are some things that are in our nature that are not good, but they're in our nature?
This is reality of mankind.
Right. Okay. So for example, if someone makes me really angry, or let's just take the average person. So the average person does something really bad to average person B. Average person B is going to get really angry and want to give revenge. Why? Right. It is in their nature, but it's not good.
Right. And what I'm telling you, people go to jail every single day for making bad decisions. And I'm trying to explain to women that the man that you think would not cheat, or you're trying to overlook this side of men that is who we are, instead of accepting it. Men are not over here arguing with me that women want a successful, tall, fit, a strong man. Men don't argue what women want. But when we say what we want, we looked at like we crazy. This is what men would prefer, to be with multiple women. This does not mean I'm saying he gets to share provision with other women and you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
How do you emotionally connect with the one? Let's say you're married to your wife and you provide for her everything, but you're having sex with other women. Where is your intimacy with your wife, and how are you emotionally connected? Or is there nothing emotional?
Listen, you're not listening. Y'all are missing the point. Who we provide and protect for is who we love, not who we fuck.
So that's your Your intimacy with your wife is what is
this is who men are. Our love is on who we're willing to die for, not who we're willing to fuck. Here we go back again. What I'm trying to explain, that women think what you value is what men value. Sex is emotional for women. It's not emotional for men.
No. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Right? Like women are not looking for men are not looking for a woman that's over 6 foot. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That is women's preference for men. And,
Yeah.
and same thing. I understand that maybe sex is less emotional for men. But
I'm saying,
really,
Vita,
I can't come up with a secular argument for why.
What I'm saying, Vita, is this.
That, other than the fact that I'm a Christian.
No, I respect your faith. What I'm saying is this: don't judge a man's love for you by his only wanting to fuck you. The man who's willing to die for you is the man that loves you. The man who's willing to provide a family for you and do everything he needs to do to take care of you and his children is the man that loves you.
Yeah,
because he'll fuck a bunch of chicks, but he ain't gonna do that for every girl. This is a man's love. That's how he connects with women, who he's willing to provide for. It's not the same thing for you guys. You're not expected to.
Love is self-control.
So hear me out.
Love is self-control.
Sex for you guys is emotional, right? Your love to a man is you giving yourself to him. Women, you guys have a temple. You can create life. This is why sex should be something that you take more seriously and not give to everybody else. We can create life. We don't have any intrinsic value. A man is not protected by society. He has to establish himself for him to be respected by women, by everybody. And I'm saying once he establishes himself, him providing for you and protecting you is that's his way of showing his love. Because he'll provide for you, give you all, take care of you, give you the children, and fuck 100 girls. And will go to sleep that night. And if they didn't, this is how men are. Men will literally, if a man can sleep with a woman and not even remember who she is. Sex is not emotional for us. But the woman that he's paying the bills, somebody break into the home, he's willing to go fight and die for, that's the woman that he loves. So our love, men and women, are two different things. We don't show love the same way. And I think it's unfair for women to look at men that way because you're being misguided and you make the wrong decisions, in my opinion. So pick the best guy for you. Go pick the best guy. All right, but show him that you should be the main girl in his life. But do not be foolish to think that, oh, if he's only fucking me, that means he loves me. No, men will literally fuck. You put a whole, you literally go out and scream, who wants to fuck? And see how many men are trying to fuck y'all actively right now.
I'm a virgin and I completely stay away from this. So I would like to
Aspen. How many men are trying to have sex with you on a week-to-week basis?
Well, I personally don't do the hookups one night stands. So I mean they'll try, but I immediately shut that down because I respect myself more.
Okay, but men are trying, right?
Yes, but also they most men who actually know me in real life don't even talk to me, look at me like that because they know that it's disrespectful.
But would you guys agree that a lot of men would fuck y'all if they had the chance?
Yeah, yes. If I was walking around promiscuously, easily, absolutely.
Okay, so how many out of those men that would want to fuck y'all? How many of those men are DMing you proposing for marriage?
None of them.
I'm actually having a lot of marriage proposals in my DMs at the moment, but
my point, men are not hitting you up to give you marriage and provide for you, but they trying to fuck. So what do you think they value more in terms of love? What do you think is more important to them? Is it just sex? Is sex what's more valuable? Or is it the woman that they're willing to provide and protect for and give their all to? The reason why men are not DMing you to marry you is because that's something that they want to save for the woman that they're willing to give it all for. Not sex. That's my point.
Okay, but also it's kind of unrealistic because most of the men who are DMing don't know me in real life. So why would they offer to put me up and give me kids and all that when they don't even
But
know?
that's my point. Men, what we would like, what men are trying to get, men would try to fuck as many women as possible. But when you say, hey, come provide and give me a family and die for me, they're gonna be running really, really quickly. Men don't want to give that up easily. Because that's what we hold
Right.
dear to our heart.
I agree with you. I don't think either of us disagree with that. Because obviously men are going to find the woman that's not promiscuous, and that's who they're going to commit to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure we both agree.
All right. So men, in terms of love, prefer, and like what you should judge as a woman on if a man loves you or not is who he's willing to die for, not who he's willing to fuck. I'm saying it's a bad mating strategy to think that if he's just only fucking you, that means he's the best man for me.
Okay,
Right.
I think we understand.
Okay? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, we understand what you're saying.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me look at the questions in here. Let me look at the super chat. So somebody just put a sticker. Okay. Let's get to next point. So what do you guys think on the new wave of passport bros? So passport bros are men who are traveling overseas to find love, find feminine women. What do you guys think about that? Men are leaving the West. Men are leaving America. They're tired of American women. They want to go find feminine, pure women overseas. Well, what do you both live in America, right?
Yes.
What do you guys think about that?
I completely support it 100%. I think if a man is looking for a pure woman, then the West is a very very scarcely are feminine pure woman here.
Okay. What about you, Aspen?
I mean, each to their own. If they want to do that, like, go for it. I mean, it doesn't affect me at all, really.
It kind of does, though.
I mean, it might due to like the fact that there are less men, but like obviously, if they're looking for a pure woman, like I won't fit that for them.
Okay. So is it fair for them to be able to do that?
Oh yeah, I feel like it's also fair for women to be able to do that and to leave and go to different places to find specific types of men as well.
Okay, here's the problem with that though. Women traveling elsewhere, that kind of goes against your mating strategy of the best quality mate in terms of provider. So where would you be going outside of the West?
Just the West.
Less developed countries? No. You should stay here. You should not be happy that your men are leaving and taking their resources to less developed countries because the women are better there.
Yeah. I mean, I think, if I was, I would be upset about that, and I would be like, "Come on, guys, stay behind." But I have no struggle with that.
But this is what I mean when I say women should hold each other more accountable.
Yeah.
Not because if we're being honest, I was explaining to Cassidy until she got triggered. Let's not look at what makes you feel good right now or what sounds good. Let's look at the overall positive for you, right? Mm-hmm. The overall positive for you is to have a family, right? Your power be in your home, right? I believe women are very powerful, right? You're the essence of femininity. You can create life. We don't have those powers. But in this environment, women are more promiscuous. You're less valuable to the men that you actually want. So instead of women coming together and saying, you know what, we should stop this behavior because the only person that's losing is us. But no, women get upset. You hate women. I love women. I'm saying don't make the mistakes that these angry feminists are making. And then they want you to go through the same life and then be angry like them.
Yeah.
Don't be angry like them. Make better decisions and pick better men. So
agreed.
That's my stance on it. What do you say, Aspen?
Like I guess I'm confused on like the question.
No, I'm just stating that it should piss women off if you are a good woman, that the men that are possible mates for you are looking elsewhere because you're not so pure and you're not gonna give him what he wants in terms of relationship. It
Well,
should
yeah,
kind
I agree with that. Like, if you are pure and you save yourself for marriage, then like, obviously, all the boys or all the men who are leaving the country looking for a woman who saves herself for marriage, like, I would understand how they could be upset by that due to the fact that they have been saving themselves for marriage and all the men are leaving.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question. Are you okay, Avita?
Yeah, my phone's about to die and my charger's not working. But you said one more question?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Cool.
All right. So my last question is: how much should your man make?
Personally, I don't really care about that. Like, obviously, a livable wage, but I myself would like to go to college, and my ultimate goal is to become a doctor and make six figures so I could support myself. I don't necessarily need a husband, but also, like, someone who's on the same level of intelligence to me is more important than money wise.
So let's fast forward 5 years, right? You become or however long it takes you to be a doctor. You become a doctor. Is it you think you're gonna be accepting men who are making less than you?
I mean, yeah, if I find the one with all the characteristics, like who I will believe will be a good father and a good husband, then yeah, like at the end of the day, like I know that my paycheck can make us both live lavishly and that we can have a nice home and support our kids and support ourselves financially to where they don't have to be the breadwinner in the relationship.
So you don't care. You
Women
don't care about.
to men if I am the breadwinner, like there's no way I can be attracted to a man that I'm providing for. Like that is so incredibly against our nature. And I would like to say that a lot of girls on birth control feel like they want to be the breadwinners, but as soon as they're off of birth control, that's when they start to, think as a feminine woman.
So I agree with Vita, and this here comes the programming again for women, right? No, you're a boss, babe. You can you can make your own money. You don't need a man. 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 But your nature won't let you be with a man that you think is lower than you.
Well, like I said, like before, for me personally, money doesn't matter. If they're
Right.
intellectually on the same level as me and morally on the same level, and like maturity level they're on the same level, then that matters more to me than if they're making more money than me. Because at the end of the day, like I'm okay with them making less money than me, but still being on the same level as me in every other aspect.
Have you been in a relationship where you were making more money than the man?
Yes.
And how long did that last?
2 years.
And why did it end?
Emotionally abusive.
He was emotionally abusive. Okay, what was he doing?
Well, I'm not like really gonna get into it right now, but like just emotionally abusive. It was like a relationship at like quite a young age. So, I mean, just learning how a relationship works was not obviously.
Okay, so how old were you in this relationship?
I was 15 to 17.
So how were you making more money? The money you were making was not significant enough for you to see. So I'm saying, so you need to be in the real, like, okay, 15 to 17.
Like I said though, I'm a full-time student, so like
Right. So have you ever had to pay your own bills?
no,
Okay,
considered
so
a full-time student.
okay, here we go, Aspen. You're not really in tune with reality in terms of what finances are, because if you've never had to take care of yourself, you will understand the hardships of providing, right? And women will run away from men that can't take care of them. Once you're on your own, right? And you understand how hard life is for taking care of yourself, you're not going to want to be with a man who can't make more than you. 15 to 17, what money were you making?
Well, she said that if she already is stable and she's making money, then she's okay with her, her boyfriend or her husband not. Is he still there?
I'm here.
But I want to say that I think that that's what you think you think that, you know, if you have enough money and if you feel stable, then you're going to be okay with your significant other making less. I think you think that, but I think when it comes down to the reality, it's going to be a lot different than what you imagine.
So then, like, my question for you, I guess, is are you okay with, like, being a stay-at-home mom then? Like, do you personally want to work and, like, have a job?
Not only am I okay with being a stay-at-home mom or wife, but that's my dream. That's what I want to do. I have
And
passion in so many other places than work. I literally sell insurance. That is the least interesting thing about me. It is just my job. Thankfully, I have other passions.
so why do you feel the need to, like, just, like, be a stay-at-home mom? Like, do you ever feel the need that, like, you are strong enough to, like, provide for yourself?
See, okay,
I
let's
feel
stop. Let's stop.
so
Let's stop.
strong.
Let's stop this. Here goes the programming, right? A woman in her feminine energy is not a provider, right? What makes a man masculine is his ambition, is his go-getterness. More women are now encouraged to be more masculine. She's more in her feminine than most women. Women in their feminine are not trying to conquer the world. It does not mean that they're not powerful or that they're lesser than a man. She's powerful in her essence.
For me, like, so, for example, like, I've been told I have, like, big dick energy, and I completely agree with that. Like, but
That's
for
not
me,
good.
like,
That's
when
not good.
I look for a man, I want them to have bigger dick energy than me. Like,
Okay,
they should be able
that's
to keep
called
up.
masculine energy. That's not a good thing, Aspen.
Yeah.
Masculine, no,
I'm not gonna
masculine
sit
energy
there
is
and
not a
look
good thing,
pretty.
huh?
I'm not gonna sit there and look pretty and, like, wait for a man to choose me.
Okay, but here's the problem.
It
We're gonna
works.
go back.
It works if you sit there and look pretty and are quiet and lovely and peaceful. It actually works.
So
See, that
here's the
sounds like
problem.
hell.
Here's the problem, Aspen. You have been convinced that you being masculine, staying in the workforce, giving your youth, right, to a corporation makes you powerful. Instead of your family, instead of your home, your kids. You think you're more powerful going your ass to work, making this boss money and not in your home.
So, so my question for you is, at what age do you think women should have kids? Because you're talking about family.
Right.
So, like, at what age do you think is, like, the right age for women to produce and have offspring?
18, between 18 to 30.
That's very broad. Can we, like?
And if you want more kids than 35, you know, continue having them.
Yeah, but like you should have your first child, in my opinion, 18 to 30.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
How old are you?
I'm just not 18.
Okay. What you don't want to make the mistake of doing, all right, is giving your youth, your beauty to a corporation that will let you go and are trying to convince you that you're powerful because you're working for them.
Do you believe that women can do both? Do you believe
You
that women
you're not
can
going to have
jobs?
enough energy. You're not going to have enough
You're gonna
energy
do-
to do both.
So you don't believe that women could have a family while having a corporate job? You don't believe that they could do both?
This is why most marriages fail, because it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
You can't make enough money to take care of your home and to raise your kids at the same time. It's like how?
So is that then where the man comes in?
Exactly. I tell men to make more money and take care of their women.
Okay, that's great. Like, I agree with you. Like, but then I feel like a woman should also be allowed to go to a job and make money and raise a family, as well as the man go to a job and make money and raise their family as well.
It's okay. So
Like, raising a family is a team effort. Like, it's not just going to take one person. It's going to take both parents to raise a family.
Right. But guess who's the nurturing feminine energy at home? You.
The mom, and that's
Right.
that's scientifically proven.
In order for
But
you
also,
to be,
I've noticed a difference in men who are raised with dads and men who aren't raised with dads.
so what is the difference?
The difference is men who aren't necessarily raised with a father figure in their life aren't masculine because they've been brought up by a woman, so they believe like this is how they should act, even though they've never had a father figure to show them how they should really act.
So doesn't that prove my point that a man should be like, it should be man and woman?
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I think it should be a man and woman both raising one family.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is you're not going to have enough energy, right? You know, childbirth, when you're pregnant, you can't really work.
Well, there's maternity leave.
Okay, well, guess what? Your man has to have enough money, right, to be able to keep your family afloat. And then when you have this child, you don't want to be there to raise him in like when this is your child. Why would you be trying to split the time between your child and your job?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So why do you have such a goal to be fully sustained by yourself and not need a man? Like why is that your goal? And why is it something that you want to do?
Well, because like at the end of the day, like men are able to leave. Like they're not as stable as I feel like a job would be. And for me, like financial stability is very important. And I feel like women in today's society should be allowed to both work and have a husband. I'm not saying that when I want to work and have a career that I'm completely giving up on a family and a husband, because I want both. And I'm 100% like willing to work towards both.
So 70% of all marriages are 70% of all divorces are initiated by women. So the chance that your husband is going to leave you is a 30% chance according to all of the divorces. And if you're a corporate woman and you're educated, you have a college degree, then there's a 10% chance that your man is going to leave you. 90% of marriages that include a college educated wife, the wife is the one who initiates the divorce.
Okay, so then, like, let me ask you a question then back. So on that, like, hypothetically, if a woman would go to college for 4, 6, 8 years, however long she decides to go, is she supposed to just let that degree sit in the cupboard and cook and provide for her children instead of using that degree? Because
To
she
do
racked
what?
up all this
Why
debt.
go in the first place? Why go and get it? You
Yeah,
said
why? What's the
wouldn't
point?
it's better to lean on your degree because your job's not going to leave you like your man might leave you. Why not become the type of woman that your man would not want to leave?
Well, you're saying then, like, 90% of men will not leave. 10% of women leave when they have a college degree. And
No, no,
90%
no, 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 no.
Opposite.
90% of educated women leave marriages. Women initiate the majority of divorces. Men don't.
Okay, so I misunderstood that.
Right. So a woman
You
has
guys are
no
agreeing
incentive.
with the woman shouldn't even go to college. She should just
No,
find a
she should
husband
not.
immediately.
Yeah, she should not go to. In my opinion, she should not give her youth to a corporate company that will fire her.
I'm another employee.
Right. They will. They will. So you said something, Aspen, that your job is more secure. That job that will fire you and get another employee the next day, you think is more secure than your family.
I think it depends on where your job's at. But also, I'm saying I'm not choosing one over the other. I'm choosing both. And I
And
feel like that's
what I'm saying is it's almost impossible for a woman to
almost.
pursue a career. No, it is impossible. It's not going to happen. You're not going to pursue a career full time
Okay,
and raise your home.
that's your opinion.
A man shouldn't accept you for doing to do that. I would not want my wife or my woman, right, to be splitting time with our children with going to work. You're not helping him raise the family. Let him go make the money.
Okay, and I want my husband to be there for our kids as well. So does that mean both of us just don't work when we have kids?
No, he's the one working to provide.
But then he needs to be there for our kids as well. It's a
How
double-edged
will he be there
sword.
for the kids if he's providing a roof over their head?
Well, if he's providing a roof and being with the kids, then why don't I also get to help provide? We should split. A family needs to be split.
Aspen.
We both work. We both provide for our kids. We're both there for our kids.
Aspen. You're wanting woman. You're wanting a man to take the same feminine role as a woman. That's not who men are. A man is a provider and a protector. He's not the nurturer and feminine energy. That's the woman's job. The man provides for the family, so there's a roof over your head.
I'm just
You're
confused
trying to
because
split
I feel
it,
like we're in the 21st century.
and that's why 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Okay. Are you
It is.
married right now? Because you're talking a lot about marriage, but
Why are you trying to contradict? I'm giving you facts.
no, I'm just
saying,
wondering. Like,
I'm not married, but
how
I
old are
choose.
you?
I'm 26.
Okay.
But I choose who I'm gonna marry, if I'm gonna marry. The woman doesn't choose. So the man chooses who he's gonna marry and when he's gonna marry. And then you want him to do 50-50. But he should be a man that is a leader, confident, have all these things, but he should also be in a split role with you. That can't happen. Like this is women being convinced that they can get their cake and eat it too. Oh, get a strong, independent, tall, handsome, rich man, and he should go 50-50 with you. I guess that relationships are not that way. Women have their power, men have their power. A man should provide, a woman should nurture. See, you have been, this is what Vito was explaining, right? You have been now convinced that you should give these years to a corporate organization over a family. And that will make you more powerful. When in reality, that organization will fire you without second thought. There are women, Aspen, who are in their 40s coming out and talking about how they have been lied by feminism, how they regret it, how they wish they could have focused more on their career. This is what I was telling the Cassidy girl. Instead of you not having integrity with women, tell them that they can go through this pain if they make the same decisions as you. Like telling people, oh, I'm not going to tell you how to live, but this is my life. That's just being dishonest. That's being disingenuous. You're not telling people the truth. You just don't want to piss anybody off. Right? I agree with Vita. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe her phone died, but she's dedicating her youth and her beauty to her family, where she has the most power.
And what is she, 22? Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so she's 22 and a virgin, but yet she's not married, not having kids, and she's got what, 8 more years?
She has. I mean, but in the sexual marketplace, she has more value. Are you a virgin?
No.
Okay, she has more value than you in men's eyes.
Okay, I mean, I would hope that my husband in today's society wouldn't care about that. Because, like, I feel like your view on everything and Vita's view is very, like, outdated, personally. That's how I feel.
No, it's realistic. It's realistic. It's not the lie that women have been fed.
Okay.
So, but let's look at the numbers. If our view is skewed, why are there more divorces? Why are there more women initiating divorces? Why are more people single now than ever? If the way we're saying to do it is the wrong way, but you're being convinced, no, you should do it this way. But here's the guarantee.
Do you ever feel like it's also men's fault? Because I've noticed, like, this whole time it's like you have been talking about women and how they are doing this, but, like, can you explain to me, like, what your view on men is? Because I understand that the men aren't technically leaving the marriage, but what do you think pushes the women to leave the men? What do you think the men does to push the women away?
It's a fault. No. So men are more incentivized to stay in a marriage because we lose everything. Do you know that marriages, when a man gets divorced, he loses half of everything. He has to pay child support. A man is not incentivized to leave a marriage. You are.
No, what I'm asking is what pushes the woman away? Like,
she has incentive. She gets to take half of his shit and go.
And Robin is that half of her shit too.
No, do you understand the marriage law?
Okay, so let me get this straight. 100% of marriages that end in divorce, all of the assets that are being split among both the man and woman are all the men's?
The man is usually the person who brings most of the income to the family, and he's losing half of his assets.
Okay, but, like, what I'm asking is 100% of the households that end in divorce,
all right,
do the men own all of the assets that are being split?
No, but the man is the one that needs to pay child support to the woman.
Because the women normally end up with the kid in the divorce.
Because she's incentivized to. What do you mean?
But not all divorces end with the woman getting the child. And most of them do. When the divorce does end, the child or children are split between them.
No. So let me explain to you how marriage law works, right? The person who spends the most time with the kid is going to get custody. Well, guess what? If the man is out there making money, trying to provide for the family, well, obviously the woman will get custody most of the time. But guess what? He also now has to pay alimony and child support to the woman while, right, while she gets to go date new men. There's more incentive for the woman to go date and leave a man in a marriage. I'm gonna wait for her to come back if she's gonna come back.
Was there another question or?
No, we were discussing. She was saying about marriage. Okay, she's back.
Sorry, my phone was about to die.
So what I'm saying, Aspen, is women are incentivized to leave marriages because, especially when you get with a man who is taking care of you, you get half of his assets, right? While you get to go date somebody else.
Okay, but again, like my question was, like, other than the assets being split, like, what do you think? Do you think women leave marriages specifically for the assets and for the money, or do you think they leave it for emotional reasons?
So let me ask you a question, so you can understand my point without me. If I gave you a pot of gold and a house to do something, and I gave this person a penny, let's say we're married, right? Let's say I'm the woman and there's a man, and there's a pot of gold outside of this marriage and options, but the man gets nothing. Even there's every marriage is gonna have problems, but when you get a pot of gold as well, you are less inclined to make marriages work. I guarantee you, if you take away the incentive of alimony, child support, you will see a way lower divorce rate.
Okay, but like, you're not answering my question.
I'm saying every marriage has problems, but when you incentivize one party more than the other to leave, there is more reason for them to not make things work. Do you understand that?
We just have such an easy divorce system anyway. Like, why not make it much harder to get divorced?
Exactly. Because it's more money to the government. You get a man paying. Do you understand how marriage is more money to the government? The man, now you split the homes. Now you got to pay taxes, sweetheart, plus him, and you pay taxes. You got to pay her money for child support. That's coming out of his check. That's more guaranteed money for the government. Yeah. He has to pay taxes on whatever he's doing. There's money coming out of his account for the child, right? And you got to get taxed on whatever you're doing. So instead of do you Aspen, do you know that a family is the lowest taxed bracket? A single household is more taxed than a family. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay, so why do you think the government wants you to get divorced?
So that way they can tax you more. Like, that's common sense.
Right. So if you give women such an incentive to leave a marriage instead of making things work, then obviously more women are going to leave marriages. Every marriage is going to have problems. Men's fault, women's fault. There are men that cheat. There are women that cheat. But the man still has to pay alimony. He still has to give half. Even if you cheat with your husband, if he catches you cheating, he still has to give half of his assets to you.
Let's say, for example, if the woman makes more money than the man, does she have to pay him or not really? Most of the time
that doesn't happen, but yeah.
Going back to like the whole, being a mom and, having a corporate job, having a career, I think that you can do both, but you're going to do a terrible, like, it's just going to be half on each side. Like, you're not going to be a great mother and a great, woman of your career. Like,
so Rita, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Did your mom have a job?
She works with my dad.
Okay, so she works with so she does have a job.
Yes, she raised all of us are grown.
And she raised you. Okay.
Perfect family union.
Yeah, no, my mom had 4 kids by the age of 23. We're all 1 year apart. We're all grown. The youngest one is 21. Now she's spending time with her husband, working together.
So did she have a job while raising you guys?
No, stay at home.
Oh, okay.
See how beautiful that is? Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want to raise your children? And then now, guess what? Now your mom has time to pursue other hobbies if she would like. while
Yeah.
she's built the
Yeah.
foundation
She's in her
for her children.
40s. Yeah. Yeah.
A win-win for women.
Yeah.
Do you not see what we're saying here?
No,
You give
I 100% agree. Like, I mean,
okay.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't necessarily have to agree with it.
You
As a
don't have
woman, I would be so against the government just raising my kids. I would want to be at home, and before
And
my
that's
kids
you,
go
and that's perfectly
to
fine.
learn about
You can do what you want to do. That's just not for me, and that's not what I'm gonna do. And like, good for you. I'm glad that you don't want to have a career and that you want to stay at home and raise your kids. And like, I would also love to raise my kids, but I would also love to have a career.
yeah, because the reason, Aspen, is because you have been brainwashed to believe that it makes you powerful to have a career. That's
I
what
don't
that's
know,
No,
only
not
brainwash.
brainwash.
It
Just,
also has to do with like
just
wounds deep
goals.
down.
Just goals.
what'd you say?
I said just goals. Not necessarily brainwash. Just like I would like to have more goals for myself, other than just being a stay-at-home mom and raising kids.
You can have goals after you've established your family. Like her
Why
mom
can't I
did.
do both?
You don't
Why
get the
would the family be the goal?
because you're not gonna be a great mother in raising your children if you pick your career first. She just explained it to you. Her mom,
Okay,
right?
I got it. I
raised
got
it.
it. Trust me. Trust me. I've heard it. I've got it. I've got it.
So why would you? So I'm just asking you logical questions. Why would you not do what her mom did?
Because
Her
that's
mom
just
can go
not
pursue a
my
career right
like.
now.
That's not what I want.
But do you
Like I
understand
said,
why that's not correct?
you
Do you
believe it or
understand why
not,
that's not?
believe it
But
or
you
not, like you have the choice of how to live your life.
right, and I'm trying to help you
So
make
then
a
my
better
question is,
decision.
what if you don't want kids?
Okay.
Is a woman then purposeless? Does she have no purpose?
I mean, you can give your whole life to the government and work for your job, and
Wait,
then
but
when
that's
you
not the
die,
question I asked.
a woman has more power when she has children. Yes.
So she's
Not,
purposeless if she does not want children.
no, she has more power when
Not
she has
purpose,
children.
but I have a question, Aspen, for you. Do you think what you're going to want in life in your 40s might be different than what you want in life right now?
No.
That's
You
very immature.
think that in your 40s, you will want the same thing that you want right now?
Yes.
That is very immature.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not immature. It's I've thought through life, and I understand that what I want from an age, and I understand that after I finish my degree, I want to continue my career, and I want to do that, and also have kids.
So as an 18-year-old, you have thought through life. But
Yes.
what
Do
if
you
you live?
think that? Do
No.
you ever think that you're gonna regret not going to college?
No.
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 Listen,
No.
let me explain something to you. I have an engineering degree and a successful business. And I'm
Okay.
telling you, I would prefer women don't go through that kind of stress. For what? For what? Working for companies that can easily let you go? What is the incentive? Like that is there's no net positive for a woman to go through that. A man should, so he can ensure that his family is raised properly. You can provide for him and protect them.
So
But
then
why
my
would you go
question
through
for
that?
like single mothers is like, so like when I think of a single mother, like or not a single mother, sorry, a stay-at-home mom, I
Mhm.
think of like when they're like babies and like they can't like make themselves food and can't get dressed on their own. So like at what age can a mom start working because their kid can't fend for themselves? Or do we wait until the age of 18 to then go to work?
So I got a question for you. If you had all your kids at 25 and you raised them, they were all a year apart, and you were now 40 years old, you couldn't go pursue a career at 40 after
Not
you had established family?
technically, yes, but like also by the time that you go and get a degree and get the career path that you want, it'll be too late. I mean, nobody's looking to hire somebody who's only going to go to work for 20 years before they retire at 60.
Oh,
Then somebody
you want to give your whole life to your job, basically.
well, you're
Once
saying
you-
at 40, if I
right,
would want to go get a career, by the time that I've went through college, let's say
right.
now I'm 45, hypothetically, so now I'd only have 15 years until retirement.
So that's what I'm saying. So
So, but
you're
companies
willing
aren't going to
to
want to hire somebody who's 45 over someone who's 25.
okay. So you will rather dedicate most of your life to your job than your family.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then why would you not start your career after you've established a family?
Because you can do both.
You cannot do both.
That's
Question.
true.
Question.
What,
Do you?
what statistic are you pulling this from?
Because it's
And don't talk about
logic.
divorce, because divorce and
No.
cancer
It's
are two
logic.
different
Let
things.
me explain something to you, right? If you are a woman at 18 and you go to school, you want to be a doctor, you might finish when you're 25, 26. You date, sleep around until you're 30. Now it's a lot harder for you to have kids. Now it's more complications, not as much energy to raise a family. And guess what? In your 30s, men don't value you as when you were younger, youthful, and more beautiful. So now your youth and energy has been given to college instead of your power, your family. So you will now want to raise the kids when it's higher chances of getting of losing those children. Less energy to raise a family, but you got a degree. And it's gonna be harder for you to find a better a man.
I'm just confused on what the question is, because I mean, if I'm mistaken, like there was a question.
No,
That
the
was
question, the
How
question,
much men should your man make? That was
yeah.
the.
And you're saying, you said to us that you don't really care. And we're saying at 15, 17, when you do your last relationship, you didn't understand finances to the point where you can be with a man and money doesn't matter. Money didn't really matter in that relationship. But I'm saying you should, instead of dedicating this much time into a career, find a man, right? Or save yourself from making the mistakes that most women make and create a family.
I'm still waiting on the question.
I just talked. You were not there for 15 seconds, ma'am.
No, I was here, but like the question was, how much do you want your husband to make?
No,
And I gave
wouldn't-
my answer, and then you're gonna tell me that my answer is wrong, even though the question is an opinionated question.
where's the opinion? At 15, 17, the money,
Can you repeat the
money
question? The
didn't-
question was, how much do you want your husband to make?
and I'm telling you
And but
that
wait.
you're going to want.
You asked the question, how much do you want your husband to make?
Right.
So I gave my opinion. Personally,
Okay.
I don't care how much my husband makes. But then you're going to tell me how my opinion is wrong.
Based
correct?
on what? I'm telling you why my opinion is right, based on facts, not
Okay.
off things I just made up. I'm saying when
Okay,
you were
that's
15
fine.
and 17.
But again, back to that magical word, opinion.
No.
You have different ones.
No. You can have wrong opinions, ma'am. Do you understand that?
Give a wrong answer. You're definitely allowed to give any answer you want, but I guess we're both just trying to make the point, just kind of opening your eyes. Like maybe it's worth putting a little bit more thought into
But it's
that.
okay. She can do whatever
There's
she wants.
nothing wrong. Yeah,
Let her
I'm
do
gonna
whatever
live
she
my
wants.
life, and
No,
he's gonna live his life.
like I completely get it. Like you can have your opinion, you can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, and we're all good at the end of the day.
All right. So
Right. At the end of the day, like for example, if you're sitting in a group of people and someone is saying, "This is what I want to do with my life," but you, from another perspective, you see, "Oh, that's actually kind of dangerous. Maybe that's not the best." Why would you just keep your mouth shut?
that's
Why
what
would
I was explaining to Cassidy.
you know?
Because
see what I mean?
The goal
That's
is
not my
not.
problem.
But
Frankly, like eventually when you start caring about what other people do with your life, you tend to be happier in your own life.
no, you're
Yeah.
following. No, listen. This is what's
We're
going
not
on.
trying to like convert you or change you. Just
No,
giving you
I appreciate
warning.
you sharing your opinions, but
Yeah.
don't turn around and share your opinions to prove mine wrong.
Okay.
Like their
Listen.
opinion,
for
like
sure.
again, back to your thing, like I could say like, oh, like you might want to be careful doing that. Like if that's what you want to do, great, you go do it. But I wouldn't do this because of this reason. And then if they still choose to do it, I don't need to tell them that their opinion's wrong because it's their life at the end of the day, and
No.
it's what they're gonna
Yeah.
do with it.
No, your opinion is definitely not wrong because it's your opinion. But for example, like if you're saying, and I didn't think you said this, but if you were to say like, I don't want to have any children, me just being a kind-hearted soul, I would like to tell you, hey, you might think right now that you don't want children, but when you're in your 40s or 50s and you're childless, it gets very, very lonely at that point. Hearing statistics from so many women. That's all.
Okay.
Like, no, I
I'm
can
gonna
just
end it with this. I'm gonna end it with this. Vita. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
and the audience. I'm gonna give you and the audience a perfect example. Aspen is 18. The Cassidy girl was, I don't know what, 27. You have a woman in Cassidy who has been through mistakes, been through loneliness, but decides to not tell younger women like Aspen to not make the same decisions. She feels like she wants you to go and make the same mistakes as her, and then you can hopefully find a simp to come save you. We're trying to tell you, I'm showing you the mistakes you're gonna make now. Somebody who made the mistake. Look how angry she was at me telling her the truth. We're trying to show you this is what people do when they take the wrong advice. But you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
right?
I know, I get that.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm
You don't have to learn.
listening to your advice, but like it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to take it, and that your advice might be what's best for someone else, but your advice might not be what's best for me, and that's perfectly okay.
Right. That's great. Vita.
This way, a man cannot live his entire life without a woman and be happy. In the same way that a woman cannot live her whole life without a man and be happy. We need each other, right, to live, to reproduce, all of that. But even to actually like be fulfilled. Like a man cannot die being fulfilled if he never heard or saw that a woman admired his strength. Just the same way that you will not be able to die happily without a man admiring your beauty and wanting to take care of you.
But
no matter how much you want to get rid of men. Like
what's going to happen? Listen, what's going to happen is she's going to make the same mistakes like Cassidy and be upset and angry and not tell other women the truth and let other women struggle and make the same mistakes and call it female empowerment. Where female empowerment should be, hey, listen, you're 18 right now. I'm whatever. I made these dumbass mistakes. I had a guy when I was young that I should have been with. I wanted to go jump from dick to dick. Thank God that he was there to save me. If not, I would have been screwed.
Jumping off the deep end. Who said I want to jump from dick to dick?
Okay, I'm not saying you do.
Okay,
I'm talking about what Cassidy decided to go do instead of being with a man.
Cassidy said, and she stated that she didn't get with her guy when she was 22, 23 because she wasn't mentally ready for it.
And then she went fuck other dude.
One relationship within the 5 years that they were apart.
Okay, so if you leave one person and go date somebody else, isn't that a clear sign that you thought this next person was going to be better?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so you didn't try to make it
better, but also like
that's common. That's logic, right? You don't leave one relationship and go to another one if you don't think this guy's better.
That she was never in a relationship with him. That they thought about it, but she wasn't ready.
And then she went and dated somebody else. She went and dated somebody. She gave herself to somebody else. That means she thought what was better for her, like you, what was better for her was the other guy at that moment. And then oh my God, I realized this guy was actually the better guy for me. Luckily, he's a simp to come save me. But most guys won't make that mistake. Most guys are not going to come back around and save you after you left them for another guy. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But you can do whatever you want. All right.
Let's put it this way. If you are a female, but you are not feminine and you're masculine, there is something wrong. If you are a male and you're not masculine, there is something wrong. There's something wrong. And wanting to like, and I'm not attacking you, I promise. But just like for anyone else like listening, if you're a woman but you are not feminine, there's something wrong. It means someone hurt you and you're trying to build this life to try to compensate for the pain that maybe a man caused you. Maybe it's a lack of a good father figure in your life. There's so many different examples. Maybe it's some sort of assault. Why were you born a woman but you want to take the role of a man, fight for yourself, be independent? Like there's something wrong deeper, you know? And I'm not saying that you're wrong for there being something wrong, but we humans are broken, you know. And right now it looks very attractive to you to, you know, get that career and fight for yourself. And at the end of the day, you can't wait to say, see, I never needed a man. But when you get there, you'll see that that's not satisfying and that that's not going to solve anything. And you end up in the same broken place that you started in. I used to be very masculine, so that's why I speak.
Like, just saying,
no,
like, back to the thing where, like, you live your life and I'll live mine. Don't project your feelings onto me.
Projecting, she's a virgin. She has more value to more men.
Great. And eventually,
you
like,
or
girl, the
Cassidy.
world fucking sucks, and you're gonna like think that you're gonna love your husband, and you're gonna get married, and you're gonna have sex with him, and it probably won't end very well. And you know, I wish
and
you
what
the
do you
best
do?
of
Keep
luck.
fucking more dudes? You just keep jumping from dick to dick, and now you think that's gonna make you happy?
Who
Oh,
said
let me jump to another dick.
Who said I was jumping from dick to dick?
You
Like,
just
that's
said
the thing.
you,
Like,
you
not
just said
all
you
women,
just
not
you
all
just
women
tried to shame.
jump from dick
No,
to
no, no,
dick.
no, no, no. You just tried to shame a woman that will wait for a guy and saying, "Oh, you might get with a guy and not like it." That's shaming.
No, I'm not shaming her. She's 100%. She can save herself from marriage. Again, it's not my life.
Okay,
It's not my life.
I got you.
What I'm saying is, like, eventually, like, the world does suck, and life will, like, slap you in the face,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna realize that, like, everyone's a bitch.
Hey, Vita, when life slaps you in the face, at least you have your husband and your family to fall back on.
Until it is your husband and your family that slaps you in the face.
When life slaps you in the face, Aspen, you might have cats and dogs.
I think I'll be good.
That's what you're gonna have.
Like you said, I could go on the street and yell, "Give me sex," and guess what? Guys will come flocking.
So guys pumping and dumping you is what you derive as value.
No.
So then what?
But again, from the beginning, I don't need a man to tell me that I'm valued.
Okay, you can listen. The marketplace judges you for what you are.
See, and I don't
need a man.
I guess it's just hard for me because I just don't care what a man thinks of me.
But you're going to end up old and lonely.
Okay, if that's what you believe, then that's fine.
Well, I'm telling you what's going to happen. Hey, Vita, your Wi-Fi is breaking up a little bit.
When I get married, I'll be sure to invite you. Like, you'll be my first invitation.
I'm not coming.
Why not? You said I'm gonna be old and lonely. You're not gonna come to my wedding when I'm not.
He's gonna be. If with this attitude, you're gonna have a guy who's with you because he has no choice. He couldn't pick a woman who was more feminine. He would.
Can you guys hear me?
With that mentality, that's what's gonna be happening. That's what you're gonna get.
Okay, that's great. And then that's not the man for me.
Go ahead, Vita. Vita, go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up though. You might have to. You're breaking up.
One second.
So is there another question, or are we just gonna argue?
No, I'm gonna let her come back and say what she gotta say, and that's it.
Okay, just checking.
Listen,
No, it's no. I'm not mad at all.
No, you don't have to be mad.
No, I'm not. I'm not affected by this at all. And like, I'm great that you have your opinion and Vita has hers and I have mine, and that's great that we got to talk about it and share them. But like, at the end of the day, like, that's how you view the world, that's how she views the world, and that's how I view the world, and that's perfectly acceptable.
That's perfect. Go ahead, Vita.
Yeah, quick one, actually, not to like extend this, but Aspen, do you remember by any chance when you started to have this mindset? Because I'm assuming, this is an assumption, you were probably not, a little girl, 7, 8, 9, thinking that you wanted to live the life without a man and make sure that you don't need a man. So like, when did this start for you?
Well, number one, I never said that I want to live my life without a man. I said I don't want to be reliant on one. And it did start from age 8, yeah.
So what influenced you to want to be like that? Nothing.
No, nothing.
I think there's something.
What would you think it would be?
Okay, so human beings don't change behavior. They don't change behavior unless they go through pain, like I explained at the beginning.
Okay, well, I'm guaranteeing you I didn't go through pain at 8.
Okay, so you just knew you didn't need a man at 8 and you wanted to be a boss babe and you were going to put your career.
I wanted a man and I want a husband, but also I wanted career and I wanted goals.
What gave you that influence is what I'm asking.
What do you mean?
Like, was there a woman, like, was there a figure in your life where you looked at a woman that was, that had an amazing career and you thought, whoa, I really want that? Or, because like first of all, being 8 years old and thinking about that is a little bit unnatural. And being a woman, like being a girl and thinking that is also a little bit unnatural. So I feel like there has to be something that awakened that desire in you.
I mean, like, if you go around and ask any child at the age of 8 what they want to do, like, do they all look at you and say, "Oh, I want to be a mom"? No, like,
let me ask you. This is
they want to be a doctor.
This is perfect. This is a perfect question. So Were your mom and dad at home?
Yes.
Did they ever get divorced?
No.
So your mom is still with your dad,
Yes.
right? And you don't think that maybe your environment, the media, is what influenced you to start thinking this way?
I mean, maybe the media, but not my environment.
So what does your mom feel about this? Just curious.
Yeah, like she feels like you can do both, that you can have a family and have a career.
So she did both.
Yeah.
With how many
And
kids?
no offense,
Two
but she
kids.
has raised a feminist. No offense. She did
That's,
both,
I
and
take no offense to that.
and the product is a feminist.
Go ahead. Go ahead. She said, go ahead, Vita, I'm waiting on you.
Oh, I said what I wanted to say. Like, you know, your mom both, but she raised a girl that is, you know, instead of wanting to be feminine, masculine. I think I wouldn't say that's a great job of raising kids. If I raised kids and my sons wanted to be feminine and were feminine and my daughters were masculine, I would say, whoa, I've done a poor job.
Okay, but
Because
again, that's your opinion. And again, we are in the 21st century, girl.
Listen, 21st
Right, so why does
century.
biology change?
Exactly. It never will change. You could say 25th century, biology will be the same. Human nature will never change.
Again, back to opinions.
We can look at the data
No, like I
from
get
the
it. Like
beginning of
biology,
time that
but
human
like
beings have
you
not
have your
changed.
opinion, I have mine, she has hers.
Okay.
No, I would never state these opinions unless I saw with my own eyes the negative result of being childless at 50, being promiscuous. Like, and I'm not saying you're
I'm
promiscuous
just
because
confused on where you're coming from. Like,
right, I'm explaining. You're just saying that these are all opinions, and the
at
truth
50.
is they're not all
Wait,
opinions.
but childless at 50. Where'd you get that from?
From being a feminist and a woman that thinks she doesn't need a man. That's what most women at 50 are. There are a lot of women in their upper 30s, no family, who hate men, who claim that men aren't shit. Why?
Did I say that I hate men? Did I say that men ain't
but
shit?
we're telling you the actions that you're displaying is the same result you're going to get. The same actions. I'm going to put my career first. Is going to leave you miserable in the future. But I'm done arguing. You can do whatever you want. I praise women who have found the light and realized, okay, what's best for me long term might not be what I have been told right now. Do with that information you want. I'm done. I'm done. That was the show. Deuces, everybody. You guys stay here for a second. But that's it. I'm done. See you guys next week. Peace.